Network Entertainment.
You cannot manage things that you don't know. We need to understand first kung ano yung nandoon sa fishing ground po natin before kung mayroon mang management measures that we do, it should be science-based, no? Kaya napaka-importante yung Babuyan Channel nandun po, no? Which is very unique here in Cagayan or in fact in the Philippines. Sa amin lang ito yung karamihan ng aramang po natin, the famous aramang of Apari, no? Actually, yan yung may pinakamalaking contribution in terms of production in the municipal sector. Pangalawa, yung mga golonggong po natin dyan, yung dolphin fish natin, and of course, yung hairtail nandyan. At syempre, yung mga dilis. And then, karamihan po dyan, both for the municipal and the commercial sector. Now, we need to understand, kasi nga, sabi ko nga, huwag lang yung extract tayo ng extract, yung huli tayo ng huli, without knowing baka mamaya sa hindi controlled yung ating o hindi regulated ika nga, no?
Sa tuwing nagbabasa kayo ng mga research papers, nagtataka din ba kayo kung paano ito naisipan gawin ng mga researchers? Paano nila na-transform ang idea nila para maging isang actual na research project? Saan sila kumuha ng funding para magawa to? Paano nila nalaman na ang results nila ay pwede na nilang ipasa for publication? Dito, sa Behind the Science podcast, ay kakausapin natin ang ating mga Pinoy scientists para ibahagi hindi lang ang mga resulta ng kanilang pag-aaral, kundi pati na rin ang mga behind the scenes or behind the science stories nito. Simula sa kung paano nila ito naisipan gawin hanggang sa na-publish na nila ito. So this podcast is in partnership with the UP Resilience Institute, the Philippine Agricultural Scientist, the Philippine Journal of Fisheries, and SciEngJ. So ang UP Resilience Institute ay long-time partners na namin dito sa podcast. Nung nagsisimula pa lang kami, nandyan na sila para tumulong sa amin. At para lang sa kaalaman ng lahat, ako ngayon ay isang UPRI Research Fellow. The Philippine Agricultural Scientist is the first international journal in the Philippines and Southeast Asia in the field of agriculture. It is published by the University of the Philippines, Los Baños, College of Agriculture and Food Science. It publishes articles in the fields of tropical agricultural science and related areas including environmental science, food science, engineering, biotechnology, economics, rural sociology, development communication, agroforestry and silviculture, and marine and fishery science. The Philippine Journal of Fisheries is the official publication of the Department of Agriculture, National Fisheries Research and Development Institute. It covers all aspects of fisheries, both in basic and applied sciences, as well as related fields of studies such as capture fisheries, aquaculture, post-harvest technology, marketing and industry, ecology, oceanography, conservation, biotechnology, food safety, socioeconomics, and systematics in freshwater, estuarine, marine, and other identifiable water habitats. SciEngJ, formerly known as the Philippine Science Letters, is the official journal of the Philippine American Academy of Science and Engineering. It covers studies in the natural, physical, mathematical, computational, and social sciences, including those related to agriculture, health, engineering, environment, education, and technology. So kung may paper kayong gustong i-publish at pasok ito sa scope ng mga journals na ito, please consider submitting to one of them. At syempre, importante, take note na hindi kayo pwede mag-submit ng sabay-sabay sa 3 journals na ito. Kasi bawal yon. Dapat sa isang journal muna kayo mag-submit. At ang mga journals na to ay index na rin sa Web of Science, Scopus, ASEAN Citation Index, and sa Imago Journal Ranking. Kaya masisiguro nyo dito ang mataas na standard at mabusisi na review process para masiguro ang high quality papers na pinapublish. So if you're interested in publishing your research in one of these journals, check nyo ang guidelines at ang links ay nasa description. Magandang araw mga kapwa-siyentista at welcome sa isa na namang episode ng Behind the Science podcast. Ako si Paul Flores, ang inyong host, and our guest is currently the Regional Director of the Department of Agriculture, Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources Region 2, and also the Chair of the Fisheries Management Area 1, the Northern Pacific Seaboard. He is a conferred Career Scientist 1 and Career Executive Service eligible. As a researcher, he has published various pamphlets, research articles, and book chapters in the field of fisheries science, particularly on post-harvest and resource management. He received prestigious awards from various institutions as recognition to his outstanding accomplishments, notably the DOST NAST Talent Search for Young Scientist in 2014, DOST NAST Outstanding Young Scientist Award in 2018, Dangal ng Lahing Cagayano in 2018, and 2021 Presidential Lingkod Bayan National Awardee. So without further ado, let's all welcome Dr. Angel Balisi Encarnacion. So welcome sa podcast, Doc Angel. Bago pala tayo magsimula, kung nag-enjoy kayo dito sa podcast at gusto nyo ang ginagawa namin dito, paki-like naman ang episode na ito at mag-subscribe na rin kayo sa mga social media platforms ng Behind the Science Podcast. Makikita nyo kami sa Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcast, and Facebook. Paki-rate na rin kami ng 5 stars para mas madami pa tayong maabot na audience. So ang topic natin ngayon tungkol ito sa assessment ng mga fisheries resources sa Babuyan Channel, at ang study na ito ay na-publish sa The Philippine Journal of Fisheries. At matagal-tagal na rin yung partnership natin with TPJF, mag-iisang taon na. And check nyo rin yung previous episodes natin with them. So yung latest episodes ay episode number 111 with Dr. Emma Balad. Ang pinag-usapan namin doon ay yung participation ng local community sa ecotourism and coastal resource management ng Palawi Island. And episode 99, check nyo rin with Dr. Edison Macusi. Ang pinag-usapan namin doon ay ang threats to small pelagic fisheries and milkfish aquaculture over the next 30 years. So yun lang yung intro natin. Balik na tayo sa episode natin. Bago natin pag-usapan yung naging research ni Doc Angel, kilalanin muna natin siya as well as yung naging journey niya as a scientist. So, sir, matagal na po kayo sa BIFAR, and ilang years na po ba kayo in service sa BIFAR?
Baka mamaya mag-count na sila kung ilang taon na ako. Actually, right after graduation, in 2000, so year 2000 pa ako nag-graduate sa UP Visayas. Doon na po, I started working in BIFAR as cost, contract of service, from year 2000, and napalad naman po na regular in 2003, so just imagine, from 2000 after graduation until now, I'm still connected with the Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources.
So hindi po pala kayo taga Cagayan talaga, or taga Cagayan po kayo?
Taga-Cagayan ko. Medyo may punto lang ako Ilonggo because sa Ilonggo for 4 years, and of course, during my stay my study abroad in Malaysia and in Japan, actually ang mga kasamahan ko, actually mga classmate ko, at karamihan sa mga Ilonggo. So medyo may
Na-pick up niya.
Anyway, I'm happy to be part of nag-aral sa Iloilo, and having a lot of friends from Iloilo. Mga Ilonggo.
Nice. Siguro, sir, backtrack ko muna konti. Bakit po fisheries course yung pinili niyo ng college, at paano kayo napadpad from Cagayan to pursuing yung BS Fisheries niyo sa Iloilo?
Yeah. Una, actually, nung bata, syempre I'm more inclined on science, So initially, may ako niyan, ang aking gusto to become a medical doctor, But unfortunately, due to alam naman na yung kahirapan, medyo hindi kaya ng aking parents, I have to resort to to apply for scholarship na sa mga college, for college, Kasi definitely, kung medyo yung ganun pangarap ko, medyo mahirapan pa ako, So I applied for DOST, so mga lahat ng scholarships that available para makatungtong lang ako sa kolehiyo. Napalad naman ako to qualify sa DOST, Syempre dahil sa peer pressure, may kaibigan kasi din ako na nakapasa din sa BIFAR scholarship, Tapos sabi na, and although okay na sana ako sa UP Diliman to take engineering course, kasi yun din man isang ko. But again, sabi ko sa Manila to take engineering course. But then yun nga, kailan alam mo na probinsyano. So sabi ko, sige baka mahirapan ako sa Manila. So, dahil may kasama ako naman ako pupunta ng UP Visayas, then dun ako nag-UP Visayas. Then yun nga, pinili ko na itong BFAR scholarship, of which I'm wearing now yung shirt po ng just to promote, no, Fisheries Scholarship Program ng BFAR, no. So dun po nagsimula yung aking ano sa journey sa fisheries. Kasi nung una hindi ko talaga alam na yung siyempre yung during our high school, ang fisheries na course mukhang parang, sinasabi na lagi 'no, na parang ano lang siya vocational 'no. So it turned out na mahirap pala 'no, and maraming maraming potential 'no. Of course it's a science, it's a fishery science 'no. Maraming ano, kaya dun ko na-embrace 'no, from the start 'no, na gustong-gusto ko naman talaga sa science 'no. So ng high school, elementary, high school, then and third 'no, yung yun nga, because of the Fisheries Scholarship Program, due to yun nga, yung offer ng Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources 'no, ay yun, I studied, I took BS Fisheries in UP Visayas.
Wait. So sabay sabay po kayo ni Doc Ems nag-ano, nag-college
Ano
sa
po,
UPV?
yeah, actually nauna lang ako ng 1 year. Nauna lang
Nice,
sila yung, junior ko. Opo, oo,
nice. Tas
ayun,
pareho kayo na ano, BFAR scholarship,
yes.
nakuha niyo and then ngayon nasa BFAR kayo.
Na-inlove sa
Nice. Yung ano naman sir, yung first job niyo sa BIFAR, okay. So after graduating college, bumalik kayo diyan sa Cagayan at nagtrabaho sa BIFAR. Ano specifically yung ano, yung job na yun?
After graduation, April yung graduation, May pasok na ako sa sa ano, sa kinuha ko agad ng aming, regional director 'no, si Den, RD Aison as, yun nga, as contract service. Mainly ang aking work noon ay, research and extension 'no. So I do extension work, and then dahil nga, na-imbibe din natin yung parang yung siyempre yung culture ng research at marami naman researchable areas 'no, maraming problema ang industry natin. So, from time to time, I'm being tapped also to do yung mga small research lang, yung mga kailangan lang, "Oh, may problema ng ganito, so we need to address that," mga gano'n. Or, "We need to assess this one," mga gano'n po yung mga concern dito lalo na dito sa Cagayan Valley 'no. So, nag-start lang yun I do both 'no, extension work 'no, and, research na siyempre, lahat naman nagsisimula din 'no, siyempre yung first, 3 months mo and yung mga clerical works muna. Then ano no usually gano'n naman po yun 'no. So we need to learn everything muna yung from the very basic until you para parang maano ka naman until sa siya ma-integrate ka sa institution. So yun na nga 'no, then that's the time 'no na talagang, I was really involved in to do extension work. And of course, some research work 'no. So kaya na-expose na ako dun as early as 2002, yeah, actually 2000 ano na nga, 2000 'no, nag-start na ako na may mga konting mga awards na rin nakukuha sa research output namin. So yung mga gano'n po, nagsimula lahat yung mga yon. Kaya hanggang ngayon ang aking mindset lagi more on yun yung may everything 'no, kung dapat science-based 'no. So we need to do research 'no, para at least, the things that we do, be it an extension work 'no, or doing, policy work 'no, now that I'm being the regional director of BIFA Region 2, so, yun the more 'no, that we need to integrate science 'no, sa aming sa policies 'no. Kasi otherwise, yun nga, magfe-fail lang 'no, kung wala tayong basis 'no. So gano'n lahat yung parang yung nagsimula lahat talaga yun nga, as contract service, being what do you call now, an extension worker and, a researcher.
Yung pag-pursue niyo naman po ng ano, ng masters, paano yun nag-open up habang nagtatrabaho kayo diyan sa BIFAR?
Ano yun sir, ang nangyari 'no, while working, so as a job order 'no, may nakita akong, scholarship abroad, oh. So but then, ang ano ko muna, interest ko actually ang interest ko dati din ay I want to learn new language 'no. So actually hindi muna siya direct na I took a masters 'no. So there's an offer from the Japan government 'no, through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs 'no. It's actually not the Mombusyo 'no, yung Ministry of Education Science 'no. It's the Ministry of Foreign Affairs offering Japanese language and culture 'no. So but then before that, I joined JICA yung mga youth fellowship program, no, before that. So doon ako na-encourage sa culture, and of course, no, yung alam naman po natin, no, how advanced naman po yung Japan. So doon ko na-encourage in terms of culture, in terms of science, sa technology nila. So doon, so I applied the scholarship just to learn the language and the culture. So kaya nabanggit ko kanina, I was in Malaysia for 1.5 year just to study Japanese language and culture, no? And then took the Japanese language examination. Then right after that, no, nung okay na po yung kahit papaano, no, na-hurdle ko naman po yung program, I was recommended to take master's degree in Japan, no? So naghanap sila ng host institution, no? And yun na nga, doon na nagsimula, no, na after my fellowship program for Japanese language and culture, pumunta na ako sa Japan for masters. But alam mo, medyo nahirapan din ako noon because hindi agad kasi na mag-masters, no. Ito na nga po, no, i-relate ko na lang din po sa ano natin, sa curriculum natin dito sa Pilipinas, no. Kaya yun, that time kasi tayo wala tayong K-12, no. So
Ah,
basically kulang tayo ng 2 years, no, during that time. So hindi ako puwedeng tanggapin sa master's program without yung 2 years na say parang experience to do research, 'no. So hindi ako biglang pumasok sa master's degree program nila dun, but undergo muna ako ng 2 years na ano, na research work, 'no. So yun yung ano, so
yung research student na
Year
ano
student
nila.
naman ako, 'no. So parang parang yun yung K-12 ko na parang yung 2 years just to kasi gano'n ang educational system nila sa Japan, eh. So it's good, 'no, na may K-12 na tayo ngayon dito sa Pilipinas. But then yun lang yung experience ko, kaya same experience yung sa mga old curriculum dati na mga Japanese scholars, 'no, coming from the Philippines, na kailangan talaga they need to pursue, 'no, I mean mag-research work muna or research student muna for 2 years, 'no. So gano'n, 'no, nangyari sa'kin, 2 years muna ako as research student, and yun na, after that, 'no, dahil may mga meron akong kahit papaano na nasimula sa research work ko during my research fellowship, 'no, dun sa 2 years na yun, pumasok na ako sa master's degree. So gano'n, kinontinue ko na yung aking study. So, after that, 'no, luckily naman, 'no, after master's degree, they offered me, 'no, yung to take yung ano, to continue until PhD degree na lang din para to take advantage na lang din po yung ano, yung availability of funds ng Japan government, and the same time yung continuity ng study, no, or yung program, no, that I have been to, no, kasi kasi mino-monitor din kami, yung as yung unang-una dun yung sa as Asian Youth Fellowship fellow. I mean yung kasi yung dun sa Malaysia kasi Asian Youth Fellowship Program yun, eh. So it composed of 12 countries, 'no, na 2 participants per country na mag-aaral ng Japanese language and culture. So yun, and eventually to be part I mean i-endorse nila sa Dimambusyo for this scholarship. So yun na, from AYF, 'no, yung Japanese language and culture na program, then research student, then master's degree, then they encouraged me to continue to my PhD degree. So tinampos ko na muna before I, bumalik dito sa Pilipinas, 'no. But again, of course, lahat naman po ito ay ano, ay more on siyempre yung sa fisheries field pa rin, 'no. Hindi naman ako ng ibang field, but mainly commodity. Kung nag-food science and technology under yun nga sa Tokyo University of Marine Science and Technology, yun kasi yung ano, yung department, no. But again, siyempre yung aking ano focus is more on, of course, being under sa Tokyo University of Marine Science and Technology, ano 'yun, ay yung food science department nila is, siyempre more on fisheries commodities, 'no. So 'yun po 'yun, and actually kung bakit ako bumalik, actually siguro yung matatanong nila kung bakit, unang-una, ito very interesting and I would like to share this, 'no. Um, Una noon, when I was accepted on this scholarship, I just actually took my oath na as a regular employee of BIFAR.
Ah,
No, I mean of BIFAR Central Office pa, 'no, kasi walang bakante dun sa BIFAR Region 2, so I applied sa Central Office. So dun ako natanggap, 'no. So, my initial thought was, for me to resign, no? Kasi siyempre kaka-permanent mo lang, and then here you ano yung nag-a-apply ka ng scholarship and natanggap ka. So it was like, i-balance ko lang yung kung paano kaya, of course it's unfair also pag bigla ako, I mean, baka kasi sabihin nila na ay kakapasok mo tapos bigla kang mag-ano,
Mm,
scholarship, no? It's parang you have to ano muna, parang kumbaga sabihin nila ano,
mag-serve
painitin mo
muna.
yung ano ko muna sa upuan mo, parang gano'n, no? But then the challenge was actually ako, the best option actually that time was for me to resign. Kasi siyempre baka initially nga yun yung iniisip ng management na kasi bago lang ako. So hindi, quote and unquote, hindi 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 ba hindi 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 puwede, 'no. So but then, ang ano ko lang dun is, "O sige, mag-resign ako." But they offered me, "Sige, you take that ano muna, one step." Kasi 1.5 year mo na yun lang naman yun, yung Japanese language culture. Yun. So yung ano naman nila, so you take that program muna, then tingnan natin kung ano yung next, kung paano natin maayos. So because ito 'no, would like to emphasize din again 'no, yung sabi ng aking, ni RD Aison, our regional director before. Sabi niya actually ako no'n kasi siyempre idealistic. So, alam mo naman no'n. And kayo sabi na actually ito yung naano ko lang, naalala ko, and I hope 'no, this will, inspire everyone, especially for those 'no, nasa government service 'no, na maraming, hindi naman ako not of na pagbubuhat ng ano 'no, ng sarili, but again, ang sinasabi lang is, siyempre kung tayo ang nakakaalam kung anong nararapat, ba't pa tayo aalis sa government system. So I was, yung sinasabi na kayo ano, alam niyo kung anong dapat, magre-resign pa kayo. Why not, mag-aral kayo, bumalik kayo and to serve, 'no? At ngayon kung alam niyo yung kung may gusto kayong maitama na sistema, then go. I mean, balik kayo, 'no? So, dun na ako, so sige po, hindi ako magre-resign. Tulungan niyo lang ako how to facilitate things. So, I was like, kaya alam mo, sa totoo lang, sir, after graduation may mga offers abroad 'no, and not only abroad but private institutions. Pupuwede sana 'no na bayaran mo na lang yung mag-back pay ka, ika nga in the government service may term as back pay ano. Pero hindi ko na naisip yon kasi ako ano pa rin, simula pa lang being a scholar ng bayan from of course as BFAR scholar, and of course as a graduate ng UP. Siyempre parang iniisip ko din na kahit may magandang offer, may ano naman na, I mean, ako naman, kahit papaano maganda naman na rin yung offer sa government, you can live naman na, and still 'no, ang ano ko din is the more that, you can, you can help yung industry ika nga, or yung mga ano natin. Siyempre kung nandun ka sa abroad, maganda yung offer, makakatulong ka din naman. I mean, malaki din naman yung tulong mo. But again, just a perspective lang na nandun na tayo 'no, we are in the government, and yun ang opportunity for you to help, no? So dun po nagsimula lahat ang aking government service, at the same time yung kung gaano ko na-embrace din yung research work until such time na nabanggit niyo naman kanina yung some of the recognitions that I received 'no. So yun lang po 'no, from a very humble beginnings, yun nga, kahit papaano 'no, itong mga blessings na 'to, na opportunity na 'to, 'no, na dumating sa buhay ko, and ito 'no, serving the government, serving the people. Yun po.
Ayun, so I guess madami nang nakakuwento si ano, Doc Angel sa naging journey niya as a scientist. Ngayon naman pag-usapan natin yung isa sa mga naging research niya. So ang title nito ay Assessment of Fisheries Resources in the Babuyan Channel. So I think yung title pa lang explains na kung tungkol saan yung study na 'to in one sentence. So siguro sir ano, can you give us a background lang din sa mga listeners natin na hindi masyadong familiar sa Babuyan Channel? Can you describe bakit ba ito importante na ano, fishing ground?
Alright. Unang-una 'no, itong fishing ground na 'to, basically dito sa Upper, North Cagayan 'no. Covering ito yung mga municipalities natin from, Santa Praxedes to Santa Ana, 'yan po. Yun yung mga, karamihan 'no na, nandiyan yung mga fisher folk natin na pumupunta dun sa mismo dito sa fishing grounds na 'to, sa Babuyan Channel. And, record says 'no na doon karamihan ng ating mga, registered, fisher folk, ano ho. And, nabanggit ko lang kanina 'no, main source of livelihood of, most of our, residents are mga sa coastal communities po natin. That's why, napaka-importante, no, to assess itong in this particularly yung stocks, no, yung mga resources po natin, ika nga, no. Um, you cannot manage things that you don't know. No, basically yun yung ano, and that's one thing that we really appreciate, no, sa research, no. We need to understand first kung ano yung nandoon sa fishing ground po natin before kung mayroon mang management measures that we do, it should be science based, no. So doon na po nagsimula that time, no, when I came back from Japan, no, ibinigay sa akin yung opportunity to do I mean, as a planning officer of BIFA Region 2. And at the same time, syempre sa pagpaplano, nabanggit ko naman kanina, you need to, kumbaga, understand the whole thing, no? Hindi lang yung kung ano yung alam mo. So kailangan in other words, you need to do some research work, no? So while acting as a planning officer, I was like binigyan ako ng opportunity to lead the National Stock Assessment Program of the Bureau. I mean, here in Region 2. So kaya na-involve ako sa stock assessment, no? So tamang-tama lang 'yun as a planner, as a researcher, no? So we did this work, no, yung assessment of fisheries resources in Babuyan Channel. Tinignan namin kung ano yung naandun, na of which, no, alam naman po natin, basically, no, nandun nag-ooperate yung ating, actually yung production here in Cagayan, no, ay karamihan galing doon. I think more or less 80%, no. I mean, in Region 2 in fact, no. So ito kaya napaka-importante, yung Babuyan Channel nandun po, no, which is very unique here here in Cagayan, or in fact in the Philippines. Sa amin lang ito yung karamihan ng aramang po natin, the famous aramang of Apari, no. Actually yan yung may pinakamalaking contribution in terms of production in the municipal sector. Pangalawa, yung mga golonggong po natin diyan, yung dolphin fish natin, and of course yung hairtail nandiyan, at syempre yung mga dilis na nandiyan, karamihan po diyan both for the municipal and the commercial sector. Now, we need to understand kasi nga sabi ko nga, huwag lang yung extract tayo ng extract, na I mean yung huli tayo ng huli without knowing, baka mamaya sa hindi controlled yung ating, o hindi regulated, ika nga, no, yung ating pangingisda. Regulated in the sense that we need to use some environment friendly fishing gears, no, and of course na avoid yung mga illegal fishing activities, no. So yun yung ibig kong sabihin, regular. Hindi naman namin po pinagbabawal yung pangingisda per se, but we need to regulate, no, yung paggamit ng illegal na pamamaraan, no. So yun po, no, while it is true that the Babuyan Channel is really blessed with this commercially important species. In fact, 25 yung commercially important species natin, economically important species po natin nandoon. We need to, check also, no, yung status. At nakita po natin, no, na medyo fluctuating yung ating production, no. Though of course, I'm not really attributing this to mainly because of syempre yung fishing pressure. No, although nandun yun kasi because of the increasing number of fishers din po natin. Basically meron din effect yung climate change, kaya we need to adapt also on that, no. Pero ang ibig ko sabihin nito, we need to understand, no, yung kung ano yung nangyari sa stocks po natin, of which nalaman po natin na we have this more or less 25 na commercially important species that ito na po na bumubuo sa basically sa major fish species that are being caught in Region 2, no. Kasi karamihan naman po dito sa Babuyan Channel. That's why we concentrated doon sa unang-una doon sa study on the Babuyan Channel, no. And kaakibat niyan, no, syempre noon during that time when we conducted this study, no, kasagsagan pa kasi noon, no, yung paggamit ng yung buli-buli ng sinaway Danishay, no. So na-alarma kami kasi that time, no. So napagbawal po 'yun, no, yung buli-buli operation po dito sa Babuyan Channel. Na although wala naman po, no, we're glad, no, that na-stop nung yung operation na 'yon, because we ito na nga yung kagandahan po ng science, no. We let the people know na ito yung mga, if we operate this, if we use this method, then wala na. While it is true na makuha natin ngayon, marami nakuha, baka naman po sa excessive yung extraction po natin, no, yung paghuhuli po natin at hindi tama, yung wala nang matitira na stocks, no, na mag-regenerate, no. And eventually, no, maapektuhan din po yung kanilang livelihood kasi kung yun lang din naman ang ating livelihood, While it is true na masagana tayo ngayon, how about next year? How about the next generation, no? So that's one thing, no, that we want to siguro, no, na emphasize this na these things, these management measures that we do, no, are mainly based on science, no. Ito yung mga pinanghuhugutan nga po ng ating mga policies po natin. And ito i-connect ko na rin po, no, yung that's why the bureau, no, established this fisheries management area, no. And as you mentioned a while ago, no, in my introduction, na ako yung chair of the fisheries management area 1. This of course composed of from the Batanes waters down to San Miguel Bay of Bicol region, no. So ganun po kalaki yung management area, no. I mean yung scope ng fisheries management area 1. Simula pa lang ito, no, yung Babuyan Channel that we are studying. Lahat, although we have the National Stock Assessment Program, of which we are very thankful for the NFRDI, no, for this program, kasi we really need this. Otherwise, wala rin kaming basis, no, for mag-develop ng appropriate, no, na policy. Kasi siyempre mahirap naman po, no, na sugod lang tayo na, oh, dapat magbawal ito, dapat mag-close fishing season tayo ito without any basis, no. We have this, no, kaya we integrate, no, yung mga work ng ENSAP po natin. And for all you know, hindi lang naman po ENSAP yung ating kino-consult dito. There are other, no, researchers from state universities, no, even LGUs or other institutions. Kaya meron tayong science advisory group dito sa ating fisheries management area to help us, no, the board, no. Of course yung board naman natin composed of different sectors naman po yan aquaculture, municipal, commercial, of course meron ding IP, meron from academe, NGO, no, yan even from PAMBI, no. At nakakatuwa din for fisheries management area 1, of course, no, nandyan yung interest din lately, nagkaroon ng interest yung and I'm thankful, no, sa DNR, no, for pushing this, no. Kasi syempre may nagkaka-interest din mga ibang bansa doon sa ating Philippine rice, no. So that covers also the fisheries management area 1, of which I kasama ako dun sa board doon sa Philippine rice, no. Kasi napaka-importante yan, yung isang sunod po natin na kailangang pagtuunan din. We have resources, no, in as much as like the Babuyan Channel, we have diverse resources here. Initial assessment shows that our Philippine rice also, no, have this a lot of resources, no, that is really potential, no, not only for economic but lahat, marami pang pwedeng magawa, no, dun sa ating Philippine rice.
Kung umabot kayo sa puntong ito, alam kong nag-e-enjoy kayo sa kwentuhan natin kasama ang ating mga Pinoy scientists. Kaya pasensya na kung naistorbo ko kayo. Gusto ko lang ipaalam na mayroon na tayong Patreon kung gusto nyo mag-enjoy ng mga exclusive benefits at syempre supportahan din ang Behind the Science podcast financially. $5 per month lang siya at kung gusto nyo i-avail ang subscription na ito, punta lang kayo sa www.patreon.com/btspodcastph. Yung sa may assessment nyo po, sir, curious ako, paano siya actually ginagawa? Like, kanina may binanggit kayo na yung kailangan yung data, kung anong klaseng fishing gear yung ginagamit, anong isda yung hinuhuli, gaano sila kadami. Paano nyo kina-collect yung ganong klaseng data?
Nabanggit ko nga kanina po, no, na we have this National Stock Assessment Program and we have assigned enumerators. That's why inuulit ko na we are very, very thankful sa our NFRDI for this, no, kasi hindi lang basta data no. We need yung kailangan yung kumbaga regular yung ating monitoring kasi we need time series data actually lalo na dito, no, sa ating mga assessment kasi hindi lang for a year. No, kaya continuous yung study natin hanggang ngayon kasi nagbabago ang panahon, no. So we have enumerators, no, sa ating mga landing sites, no, although selected lang siya but we selected the major landing sites para to prevent, no, yung bias, no, kasi mamaya ikakonti lang pala yung sampling site mo and you're telling this, no. So we want to avoid that, no, kasi hindi lang tayo kumbaga nagge-guess na lang, ito then mamaya lalabas niyan kung ano yung data, no, tapos itong analysis baka may iba yung iba yung natin yung policy na lalabas, no. So mga ganun po, no. So it's good, no, we have actually in place naman po yung ENSAP methodology po natin. And for those who are interested, no, sa ENSAP methodology and yung mga tools and techniques that we use, no. In fact, no, ito din i-plug ko na lang din na actually we have this BIFA Region 2 have this of course through FMA1 we have this memorandum of understanding with other state universities, no? And katatapos lang din namin, no, with the CBS-UA, no, training nila for NSAP methodology and techniques, no, sa statistical analysis, no. Mainly to help us also to yung lalo na doon sa San Miguel Bay, no. May mga stock assessment na gagawin doon, may mga bought and gain inventory na gagawin din, no. Yun ang ine-next namin na magkakaroon kami ng consultation sa San Miguel Bay, no. We are eyeing one species na kailangang i-manage, no, yung commercially important species doon. Inuna lang kasi namin ngayon yung sa Batanes, no. Then later on ito sa Pacific side, ito sa which covers the Babuyan Channel. Inuna namin ngayon yung sub-FMA natin ng Batanes. We are focusing on flying fish din naman doon. These are very interesting to ano din later on siguro in some other time no, sa podcast po natin. We'll talk about this. But again, my point here, if you are interested no to work, I mean on stock assessment, we have ano naman po tools or methods in place, no. And of course the corresponding statistical analysis just so to understand things kung what's happening with our stocks. Yun po.
Kanina sir, nabanggit niyo yung Philippine rice na kailangan i-quantify din yung stocks doon kasi syempre nag-gain tayo ng malaking territory. May ano na po ba? May available report na po ba publicly sa mga resources doon or ginagawa pa lang or internal report pa lang siya?
We have yet to actually ang lead na dito because this is primarily nasimulan nga po no ito yung Philippine Rice Marine Reserve area natin doon is a protected area through DNR and the DNR no commissioned the UPMSI and of course part of it no yung NFRDI din to conduct analysis or I mean assessment dun sa resource po natin. I asked the result but initially nakapagbigay naman pa sila pero we have to wait until such time na actually nabanggit naman na sa this year ata officially yung yung paper I mean yung result ay ipapublish. Yun yung nabanggit naman sa akin. But pauna lang because I don't want to preempt naman po no yung study by our colleagues from UPMSI. We have really diverse resources in Philippine rice, particularly on fisheries. No, marami po tayo na potential doon. Knowing that ito yung area po natin, the Northern Pacific Seaboard po natin, daanan po yan. It's a tuna highway. We'll just wait no doon sa ating result. It's possible na spawning ground tong area po natin. And highly kasi alam niyo po, that's very unique no in our area here. May natural close fishing season po tayo. Kaya napansin natin even here in our study napansin po namin na during this rainy season no, medyo mababa yung catch no, yung production sa ating municipal and commercial mainly because hindi na mapapalaot. And you know, yung dito, yung the characteristics of the water here, very rough, no? Kaya mahirap, hindi ganong or very limited yung opportunity for our fishers to go to fishing. And aside from of course no, yung fuel din, napag-usapan lang din yung fuel lalo at ngayon no, problema tayo ng fuel. I just hope no that hindi ito tatagal but that's why we have this fuel discount program na craft ng BIFAR no through DA of course na to help our particularly our municipal fishers no na with the increasing with cost of fuel talagang hirap din talaga sila no na magpalaot because they have very limited budget no. So I just hope no ma-continue itong program na to. So it's ito na nga po no na ito yung ding output din ng mga research po natin na i-base sa ating mga assessment sa mga interviews po natin sa mga fishers po natin ganun din yung sa fuel. So ito nga nabanggit ko na itong na-address no. And hopefully ma-continue itong program na to no just so to help our small scale fishers po natin lalo sa mga municipal fishers po natin.
Siguro sir, balik po ako doon sa Babuyan Channel kasi sabi niyo doon sa paper may overfishing na nangyayari. So naka-quantify niyo rin po ba or kaya niyong malaman like for example kung papunta na sa tipping point na pagka ganito na yung mangyari impossible na mag-recover yung mga resources something like that.
Yung nakikita lang yung trend no but not but baka sabihin na overfish na, baka mamaya ano, but hindi naman pong there's this trend of overfishing na. Ibig sabihin po nun dumadami na yan din kasing mga number of fishers po natin, and then yung mga yung fishing trips, no, and of course fishing boats and gears na nagagamit, yun yung nag-add ng pressure, no, dun sa effort po natin, ng fishing effort po natin, no. Kaya nakikita dun sa production na although it's fluctuating, no, at nakikita na rin, no, na yung particularly certain species, no, like yung makasama po natin yung round count po natin, no, yung fishing mortality, no, sinasabi po natin yung fishing mortality values ng mga to, yung mga nabanggit ko kanina, yung round cod, yung hairtail po natin, yung dolphin fish po natin, no, mas mataas na kasi kaysa sa natural mortality, no. So yun yung is indicative of high fishing pressure, no. So doon natin mino-monitor kapag medyo ano na, nandun na tayo sa stage na kailangan nating i-regulate na, no. So mainly during that time, nabanggit ko na nga po, no, kasi kasagsagan nga po ng paggamit nga ng danisay, yung buli-buli po natin, no. So it impacted somehow, no, yung ating ano natin, aside from hindi ko naman din-discount yung effect of climate change, no. But ang sinasabi po natin, if only, no, siyempre hindi natin makontrol itong effect of climate change. Ang makontrol lang po natin the fishing effort that we introduce, no, dun sa ating fishing ground, no. Particularly ang concern natin kapag nahahagip lahat yung maliliit, no, ay talagang problema, no. Tapos wala na, alam na po natin, no, basically wala na rin tayong mag-expect na I mean future stocks kung gano'n, no.
Ayun, so I guess madami na kaming napag-usapan ni Doc Angel dun sa study nila. For anyone interested, basahin niyo na lang, nasa description naman yung link dun sa paper. So ngayon naman sir, siguro pag-usapan naman natin yung more on behind the scenes. So can you share din po ano yung funding source or magkano yung funding yung kinailangan to do this study?
Sa regular program, no, with with NFRDI. So hindi lang naman ang may regular budget na pinapadala po sa atin na dina-download dito sa BIFA Region 2. Yearly po 'yan, no. May annual budget for the National Stock Assessment Program po natin from the different sites, no. Ito lang, napauna lang itong Babuyan Channel, but we do stock assessment activity, no, in Batanes waters, no. Of course, in Batanes Province, no, we have here in Babuyan Channel, we have this in the Isabela side, no, and even mga freshwater po natin, no. So, in terms of funding, again, as much as this is a regular program already of the National Fisheries Research and Development Institute, no, ay yearly na po 'yan, no. Kaya nabanggit natin kanina, no, mahirap naman po na if we only confine ourselves, no, na to collect data for 1 year and then mag-stop na. So hindi po pwede 'yun, no, particularly for stock assessment. So we need a continuous assessment para makita natin yung pagbabago, no, yung kung may mga sa trend kasi napaka-importante po 'yun. Lalo na ngayon, we have this fisheries management area na concept, no. The more that we need to palakasin yung science, I mean, the data source natin, no. Through of course mainly dun sa National Stock Assessment Program.
Can you share din po pala ano yung mga challenges in doing this study? Both mga na-experience yun na good and bad na memorable experiences in doing this study.
Actually alam mo na mahirap minsan, no, na kapag you talk with fisher folk na yung nangongolekta ka ng ano, ng data, sabihin nila kasi mamaya, baka ita-tax kami, no? Kasi tanungin mo, eh. Tanungin mo kung tanungin mo kung ano, kung ilan magkano na nahuli nila, 'di ba? Mga gano'n. Tapos, paano yung paghuli mo, no? Eh, siyempre baka kung illegal yung panghuli mo, i-report ka, gano'n yung mga fear nila. Pero, ito din po, just to be clarified, no, pinagbabawal talaga yung method of yung maggamit ng ano, ng tawag dito, ng illegal fishing. Pero, when we do stock assessment, no, sana po yun nga yung sa mga may interview po natin. Meron naman po itong ano, hindi naman namin po kumbaga may confidentiality ano naman po. No, kasi otherwise kung hindi sila magsasabi ng totoo kung paano nila ito nahuli, hindi namin ma-address yung problem. Hindi naman namin siyempre ire-report na ano pero ito yung actually yung ano, tinatago ng mga fishers 'no, yung yung data. I mean, yung mga very limited 'no, yung information na binibigay sa amin. That's actually yung struggle po natin sa pag-collect ng data. Eh, siyempre una yung sasabihin baka hindi yung ita-tax sila, pangalawa, baka ire-report sila kung illegal yung pangunguha nila 'no. And then isa din, pangatlo, siyempre nagmamadali sila siyempre, we do understand that 'no, kasi siyempre 'pag, paghuhuli na from dito sa bangka 'no, and then, nandun na ka sa pangpang 'no, kung ikaw naman yung numerator, magme-measure ka pa dun, 'di ba mga gano'n. Nagme-measure ka, siyempre baka sagabal ka lang mga gano'n. Minsan nagagalit sila, no, dahil, "Ano ba nagagawa niyo, nagkakaistorbo kayo," parang gano'n 'no. Kaya, it's very important na ipaintindi sa kanila before you conduct your study, you need to talk to them 'no, ipaintindi mo sa kanila ano yung purpose ng study and, make friends with them. Very important yung kailangan may connection. Kaya we prefer 'no, yung ating mga enumerators ay naandun mismo, I mean yung nakatira dun, they know the trade, they know yung ano, yung operation, and they know the people na working, I mean yung nandun mismo sa fishing ground na yon 'no. Kasi importante yung may personal na ano mo din, kumbaga may kung mga yung network 'no, yung relationship, establish mo yun. Kasi otherwise, they will not ano yun, kumbaga they will not, trust you 'no, sa mga information na ibibigay. And then, ang isa din namin, ang ginagawa din namin especially when we do reprobio 'no, reproductive biology studies, kailangan talagang stocks yun. Hindi ka naman puwedeng hingin mo lang 'no, bawal po yun. Hindi
Bibilhin niyo talaga.
Yeah, we don't ask any sample 'no from kaya sabi ko sa mga ano, "Wag na wag kayong hihingi ng isda." Baka sabihin na every other day nanghihingi na kayo ng isda. Eh, not good 'no. Pero when we conduct research ano naman, I mean, lalo na sa reprobio, yung kinukuha namin yung mga alam mo na, yung gonad and everything, yung mga gano'n other, yung organs, binibili naman po 'yun, 'no? So, ibang usapan naman po 'yun. Pero when we conduct sa assessment talagang ano 'yun, mini-measure kasi 'yun sa kinikilo, gano'n. So, talagang ano, 'yun yung struggle talaga, 'no? Lalo na't ano 'yan, you really have to talk with lalo na yung sa head na yung kapitan or kung yung may-ari mismo, 'no? And struggle din siyempre on our part. I mean, especially to our enumerators, siyempre unpredictable yung, although siyempre may na-establish naman na yung ano, pero yung madaling araw na yun is madaling araw, mahaba din yun, So you have to wait din 'no, until such time na nandun sila 'no. So yun din yung struggle 'no, sa ating mga ano din, sa ating mga enumerators 'no, for us na yung mga nag-a-assess 'no. You need to be there as early as kung ano yung nasabi sa'yo para at least ma-monitor mo, makuha mo lahat-lahat yung mga data na makuha mo. Kasi kung late ka na, wala na, 'di ano pa ma-measure mo, ano, 'di ba? So that's one thing 'no, that, yun yung siguro yung isa sa mga memorable or may mga katotohanan din 'no, siyempre when you talk with the fisher folk, ay baka mamaya ano, which is true naman, matatakot sila, mata-tax 'no, kasi tatakot sila na i-report sila 'no, yung mga gano'n. Pero nakakatuwa lang na really may mga gano'n palang mga thoughts yung mga fishers po natin na very ano naman po, na very valid naman po yung kanilang reaction no, regarding that.
Ginagawa niyo rin po ba yung ano, makisabay kayo dun sa pamimingwit nila?
Yes, 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 we do, 'no. For you to understand, yung halimbawa yung operation nila 'no, kailangan sumabay din, kailangan ma-experience din yung ano, yung pangingisda 'no. Ito nga 'no, lalo na kapag ano, may pagbabawal kang may certain na like for example, yung certain gear or certain method of fishing, kailangan talaga makisabay ka to understand 'no. Kasi may mga points din naman 'tong mga fisher folk, I mean mga fisher folk pa natin, valid din 'no, na kailangan mo lang talagang i-substantiate with the data and yung science 'no, para at least, 'pag ano, you can explain 'no, kung tama man yung kanilang idea, or mali, you can explain to them 'no, bakit, mali ito or bakit, ano, kung halimbawa may sinasabi kasi din minsan na, gano'n ba 'yun? Pero kailangan mong ano din, i-validate, and you can always validate that through, of course, joining them 'no, dun sa operation.
Medyo natawa ako dun sir sa sinabi niyo na ano, yung pag-report ng illegal activity. So ibig sabihin po pala, kapag gumagawa kayo ng ganitong study, puwede niyo lang i-collect yung information na may illegal activity na nangyayari pero hindi niyo puwedeng ituro sa pulis na, "Ay, siya gumagawa ng illegal
Oo,
activity."
opo. Because ang ano na, it's the role of the law enforcers na, 'no? Kasi the act of fishing, yun yung ano, kasi hindi mo din ano, kailangan mong, of course our law enforcers have to ano, to check, 'no, yung ano na, they are, yung act of fishing na using illegal, fishing method, 'no, or gears, 'no? Kailangan mong ma-document yun, eh. Eh, that's one thing, 'no, for the stock assessment program. Of course, paulit-ulit ko namang sinasabi na, we always campaign, 'no, na, for our fishers to not to use illegal, way of fishing, 'no. Basically for the stock assessment, 'no, you collect everything naman yung data, 'no, regardless of, kung ano man 'yan, kung paano, I mean regardless of anong way of, fishing na method na ginamit. And maliit man 'yan o malaking isda, you have to measure, 'no. Kasi ano 'yun, for you to understand everything. Kasi mahirap naman po na, we only collect this data na alam natin na nakuha using legal means, 'no. Kung yun lang na-collect mo, 'di maganda na yung ano mo, 'di maganda yung labas ng hindi, oh, at least nakuha mo yung, may maliliit na 'tong ano na at least dun namin nalalaman na may maliliit siyang nahuhuli, 'no. So, that's the time na, most likely they are using this, 'no, this method, 'no. So, it gives us also an idea na, ito you operate, again, 'no, siyempre we have this ano, information na may ganitong gawa. So, it's for our we feed also somehow siyempre, based dun sa may mababasa naman nila yan, na there's this illegal fishing that, do actually na nangyayari dito. So, it's of course our enforcers naman to it's their job naman din to monitor, 'no, yung things like those, no? But basically, the things that, our enumerators kasi kawawa din ang mga enumerators. Nung nahuli nga, minsan may nahuli silang mga kasamahan na mga fishers po, talagang ang hindi na sila nagbigay ng data. Actually, literally pinapalayas or, kawawa talaga hindi na ini-entertain yung ating enumerators. Ang gusto lang naman ng mga enumerators, gusto natin malaman natin makuha natin yung tamang data. Ayaw naman natin kukuha ng, data na selective. When we do assessment, 'no, hindi naman ito ba ay nakukuha, hindi naman namin tinatanong 'yun, 'di ba, nakukuha alam mo naman po 'yun, 'di ba? By way of saying, ito, but possible na gano'n, 'no? Mga gano'n yung mga ano, kaya very ano din, specific naman po yung mga data na kinukuha, pero makukuha mo din talaga kasi na, by way of analyzing things, 'no, parang, ito ay nahuli, possible na ganito. Makikita mo nga din, na minsan may mga alam mo na yung, sabog medyo ano yung tiyan, so most likely may mga gumamit ng ano, 'di ba? Blast fishing, mga gano'n ba, mga ano mo. But of course, that's really the work of our law enforcers na, 'no? Kung magkaroon man ng market denial or what, on our part sa ano muna, for our enumerators makuha lang yung data, yung landed cash, 'no? I-me-measure nila yung isda na nandoon, 'no? So that's those things, 'no? Those things na ginagawa po, 'no? Nakakatuwa but, nakakatakot din on the part of our enumerators kasi there's really this ano nangyari na nahuli yung group of fishers because they are using illegal fishing. Ngayon ang sinisisi ay yung ating enumerators, 'no?
May violence na po ba na nangyari before or wala pa naman?
May pananakot lang naman, 'no? Pananakot
Ah,
lang. So, wala namang, talagang, to that point na ano, pero siyempre tinatakot na nila yung enumerators and to the point ng sa enumerator hindi na siya magsa-sampling, 'no. So, kung gano'n mangyari wala na tayong basis ano, wala na tayong data, no basis for any policy to develop. It's really challenging on the part of particularly our enumerators. Kaya I really honor yung ating mga enumerators po natin, 'no, kasi ano, mahirap din on their part, 'no. Maulan man 'yan, maaraw, o gabi man 'yan, umaga. So, it's really ang effort din nila, 'no, but again, yung sinasabi ko lagi when we have meetings, 'no, garbage in, garbage out, 'no. So, ibig sabihin, very critical yung data that you collect, 'no. Otherwise, you just submit a garbage data Then maglalabas niyan garbage analysis, garbage policy.
Mm.
So I mean, gano'n 'yun, eh, 'no? Eh, sayang naman yung resources ng government, 'no, it's the people's money, 'no, na, nagastos na nga natin tapos yung policy pa na ika-craft po natin and it's not appropriate, eh, wala na, 'di ba?
Mm.
So, that's one thing na, that's, yun lang lagi kong inaano na kailangan even in, data collection ay may malasakit tayo, the more that
Mm.
we need to. Kasi these are the sources of yung policies po natin.
Ayun, so nakakaisang oras na po tayo, magwa-wrap up na po tayo. Before we let you go, sir, ano po ang mga ma-advice niyo sa mga aspiring researchers?
For our aspiring, researchers, 'no, just, continue your passion, 'no, and connect to the right people, 'no? Kasi, if you don't have any network and, walang, support, then, definitely wala rin kayong magagawa, 'no? So, continue your passion, 'no, as a scientist, as a researcher, 'no, just continue yung mga questions yun, yung mga critical, thinking po natin. And then, again, 'no, if you are ready with of course, 'no, yung possible research, questions and methodology, 'no, yung very important now, especially for funding, 'no, connect to the right people, 'no, and of course, institutions and, connect to people na yung mga researchers o scientists, 'no, kasi hindi naman tayo yung, alam na natin lahat, no. Hindi dapat gano'n mentality natin as a researcher, 'no. We need to collaborate, 'no, we need to, do more, research din, 'no, and read. Yun po. Kasi, the technology, the information ay ano din yan, napapasa din po yan at nagbabago ang panahon, 'no. The more that we need to be a, what it calls now, wide reader, 'no, and, connect to people, 'no. Sinasabi ko not only yung in terms of funds, in terms of, technology, but pay especially to the stakeholders that, maapektuhan ng itong mga likely kapag may mga management measures or policies that we craft, 'no. So I think that's, exciting, 'no, and, it's rewarding din po, not necessarily in terms of money, not in terms of awards, but yung fulfillment mo as a person, 'no, na after all, we are here to help, 'no, and, kung yun nandun yung passion po natin to serve, 'no, alam mo at the end of the day, makakatulog ka ng ano, ng mahimbing. So, kasi I mean, you accomplish something for the day, 'no. So with that, maraming salamat po sa pagkakataon that, you had this interview and, we look forward, 'no, for more researchers, for more scientists, for, managers, 'no. Hindi naman natin sinasabi na for managers that, use science-based, management, 'no. So yung ating ano lang din po ng punto, 'no. So, maraming salamat po, 'no, for this opportunity.
Last question, sir, anything to promote?
In as much as I'm wearing my FSP shirt, 'no, eh, actually we are promoting just like what, our, colleague, 'no, Dr. Emma, nabanggit din niya in the last episode, 'no. We have this fisheries scholarship program of which ako po ay, galing din po, 'no. I availed this scholarship, 'no, through BIFAR. And it used to be, just ano din siguro, trivia, FEM scholarship ang tawag dati dito, 'no. It was, through the initiative of, late President, Marcos, 'no, the Ferdinand E. Marcos Scholarship. FEM scholarship actually yung tawag dito, nung the time. Ewan ko sinong batch, 'no. May kilala ko nga sila Dr. Turingan, yan sila mga ano yan, mga first batch sila ng FEM scholarship. Then eventually, 'no, ito na continue and now, ako po isa yung isang proud scholar of the FSP. Have an ongoing campaign, 'no, ang application. Nag-start na 'yan ng March 2 to July 31 po yung application. And our examination, the competitive examination will be held on, October 10, 'no, of this year, 'no. So we have three categories. We have the industry leaders, 'no, yung mga cream of the crop. Yung may mga ano doon, may category din. Of course, 'no, we give opportunities also for the sons and daughters of our fisher folk, no? May category po na ganun na children of our fisher folk. And there's also this category, no, sa ating mga IPs, no? May slot po ang IP, may slot din po ang ating mga anak na mga fisher folk po, and may slot din po for the industry leaders, no? Ito po yung nasa top students, no, na who would want to pursue fisheries course din po, no? And of course, to be part of the government later in the industry, no? So yun naman po yung purpose po natin, no? So ako ay napapasalamat, no, for this program, and ako beneficiary po ako niyan. Kaya pinopromote ko po. At ako I'm wearing this shirt now. Kaya inaano ko din. But of course, inaano ko din po, no, we have this career scientist a scientific program of the NAST and CSC. Ano din po ako niyan, what it calls now a recipient. I'm currently the a career scientist one. And that's why we have this, no? So, and of course, no, maraming mga opportunities naman po na being a researcher, being in this field of the fisheries. Maraming po salamat.
Madami na rin akong nag-guest pala dito na career scientist. Dapat siguro invite ko na yung next time para mag-orient kung ano yung scientific career system.
So po yan, they are actually every region, every provinces na pinupuntahan po namin mga ay actually maraming orientation every year po yan. Every month nga may nag-hap na nga itong ating NASC just to promote, no, yung atong career scientific program po ng NASC at SC. So baka pwede mo yung invite po. And ito na nga, introducing this para an opportunity for everyone.
Ayun. So, thank you sir sa pag-accept ng aming invitation. Hanggang dito na lang muna yung episode natin for today. Maraming salamat sa lahat ng nakinig at nanood. See you everyone next week. Madaming pa tayong pag-uusapan na research na ginagawa ng ating mga Pinoy scientists.
The opinions of podcast creators, hosts, and guests are not necessarily reflective of the official stance of the Pod Network Entertainment, its hosts, or other network programs. The content created by the people behind the podcast is personal and not meant to harm any religion, ethnicity, group, organization, company, or individual.